Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. I was recently lucky enough to go on an incentive trip cruise with Stampin' Up. I actually earned a cruise for myself and my husband by stamping. How amazing is that? You can do that too, by the way, if you love stamping. Just get in touch with me and I'll tell you how. Anyway, on this cruise I got to do swaps with lots of other demonstrators from around the world, and this was the swap that I gave to them, which was my Mickey Mouse swap made with Swirly bird. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make it. So bring in the big shot. I'm actually using here the new platform with the thin die adapter. I told my ladies I would get it and see what I thought of it. It certainly does the job. If you're struggling with the new dies with your particular big shot, I have to say my big shot is working okay with the new dies as long as I'm using a shim. This means I don't need a shim. A shim is just a couple of layers, in my case a layer of paper and a layer of cardstock seems to be doing the trick. But as you'll see with this new platform, you don't need to go through twice, you only need to go through once, and it all cuts beautifully. Swirly Scribbles Thinlits is what these are. And I'm just taking, sorry, I'm doing this off camera. I'm just taking this one out because I need to use that again. Right, so I'm just going to run this one through again, as I need two of the smaller ones. Right. Now, let me show you the die brush I was talking about. So you get a little foam piece and you get the little brush, and it takes all the bits out of your dies, which makes the whole thing a lot quicker when you've got lots to do. Now I also still keep a little pokey tool in there just to release the actual piece. In some cases when they're very intricate like this, it's nice to just take them out. But you can see, apart from that one bit, can you see against the black, that one's all out. So that's that one. And then we've got this one. Whoops, I'm doing that off the camera. And, whoops, again, just peel that out. It's leaving all the other bits behind. There's a little curled bit in there. Okay, so let's put that to one side. So I've got my two little curls here, and oops, my two little curls and my big curl, and then we've also got this piece here. And again, I'm just going to run this. Now this makes fantastic sea if you do it in blue, if you're doing a little boat or that sort of stamping. Some under the sea stamping. These pieces are really great, but I'm just using them as a little feature. And I think this die set, it does include some little flowers and so on as well, but the circles themselves I think work really well, just as little elements on here. Now, because on my Mickey Mouse I don't actually want to have lots of little leaf pieces coming off, I'm actually going to just trim the outside of those off. Which, as you can see, I'm leaving the inside ones on, I'm not worried about those, but I didn't want any extraneous pieces on the outside, so I've just done that. I'm bringing in a layer of Whisper White. And their matching stamp set, Swirly Bird, goes with this. And I'm actually going to use this stamp here, and I'm going to stamp in Smoky Slate. I tried this with and without stamping, and definitely the Smoky Slate it just looked nicer when it was done. So just hold that on for a moment. Now, having done 26 of these, I got pretty good at discovering the easiest ways to do everything. And the easiest way to do to put the glue on the black pieces was on a silicone mat, which we do sell from Stampin' Up. Oops. And what you can do is you can kind of blodge it on a little bit if you've got a silicone mat, because it's not going to stick. If you did this on the grid paper, it might stick to the grid paper. And then you can use the silicone mat to kind of blot off some of that ink, some of that glue even, and stick that on. And then the same with the two ear pieces. I don't know how well you can see the black on the mat. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, but as you can see, I'm not having to, you know, as making 26 of these, plus a few extras to give out to some of my favourite stampers from around the world. And then on go the ears. So far we've got Mickey Mouse, but we want this to be Minnie Mouse. So, oh, actually, while I'm here with my glue, let's do this piece as well. And again, exactly the same thing. I'm just adding a little bit of glue to those pieces. I'm going to stick that across. Now it's longer than the card, so I'll then just leave that to dry for a moment and then trim those pieces off. So while that's drying, I'm going to take some more of the red, which is real red cardstock, and I'm going to punch 1, 2 of these with the bow punch. Now the bow punch makes a very good bow. And I'm going to just start off by just running the bone folder along those bits. And when you come to assemble these, your friends here are a couple of pegs. These are the little pegs. We had them in the catalogue last year. They're not actually in anymore, but I've hung on to mine. But any peg will do, or even a paper clip. But it just holds those in place, a little dot of glue, and it makes those two little bow pieces stay in place. And I'm going to put a bit of glue on there and pop that one on. Then I'm going to join those two pieces together and peg them again. It doesn't take very long for the glue to dry, but I find it really helps just to hold that on firmly while it's drying. And then I'm going to put my glue across here. Whoops. And then if you wish to, you can put this little piece on as well, which it also punches out. That's off the camera. This is where you can get your fingers a bit gluey if you're not careful. Just roll that round. And again, I'm just going to stick a peg on there just for a moment. Right, well my camera batteries just failed as I was doing that, but I have just trimmed those edge pieces off. Let's put this to one side. And just to finish off Minnie's bow, I'm going to use my white chalk marker and put some little spots on. Little pieces come unstuck again. And you build up all the layers. They only just fit, so it's quite a tight thing. The easiest way to make sure that's stuck is to put a piece of tear and tape across the back, which is how I'm going to adhere this. That's nice and strong. That's not going anywhere now. a little mini bow. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do on here is a little bit of stamping for a greeting. And I'm going to use, I'm looking for the stamp set that I'm going to use. Thoughtful Banners. And I'm going to use this one here. Start off with stamping that image in real red. And then all the greetings in here are photopolymer, so you can see where you're going, but also you can make those greetings a bit bendy if you wish, and that will help them bend into the shape. In fact, if I layer that over there, I can see what shape I'm aiming for. And I'm going to stamp Missing You. My husband's working away at the moment, which is a bit sad, so I'll send him a Minnie Mouse to cheer him up. So I'm just going, wrong punch. Let's try again. Duet Banner Punch is the one we want. And I'm going to just punch out this piece here. And pop that up on a couple of dimensionals. And I think I'll pop the greeting on this one down at the bottom. Now this is going to go on a black card base, and because it's a dark card base, I want to have a layer inside so I can write on it without having to write in a chalk marker. So I'm going to put a white layer inside, but just to show you, these are more little stamps from Swirly Bird, and you can make a little tiny Mickey with the Swirly Bird stamps. So little Mickey has gone in the corner there, and this is going on the inside. So as you can see, there were quite a few steps to doing that card, but it's not difficult to do. And if you have somebody in your family, just making a smear, look, that's now an embellishment opportunity. I'm going to have to think of something to cover that up with. But if you have someone in your family who likes a bit of Mickey Mouse, then Swirly Bird is going to work for you. Thanks for visiting Elizabeth's craft room today. I've made a nice mess, so if I'm making a mess, I'm doing it right. I hope you've enjoyed your visit, and I look forward to welcoming you back again soon.